Hello, my name is Henry Emphrey, and this is a Godot 2D game development tutorial. And in this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to make an Area 2D node as your main character, as opposed to maybe the kinematic body and other things. The reason that you might want to use the Area 2D node as your main character is the Area 2D node has certain functions and commands that maybe other nodes don't have. So to have readily access to those commands that the Area 2D node has, it could be good to make your character and things. And I'm going to show you how to do that in this tutorial. And then you can take what you learned in this tutorial and expand on it and use this as a supplement to other tutorials that shows you more detail on how to use the Area 2D node. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create a 2D scene. And then I'm going to double click and change this to Henry. And then I'm going to change this to an Area 2D node. Change type, Area 2D. Here we go. Okay, so we changed this to an Area 2D node. And to give you more details as to why you might want to use an Area 2D node as your main character is if you go to this node panel here, you see all these different commands. There's a lot of commands here. So using the Area 2D node directly could give you access to all these commands, as opposed to maybe the kinematic body, which might not have all these commands. And you might not be able to use those other commands, or it might be more difficult to use those other commands in other nodes. Okay, so that's one reason. Okay, so now I got Henry selected. I'm going to add an animated sprite to this. Okay, animated sprite. Okay, and I'm going to go to this frames panel here, new frame, click in the box. Then I'm going to change this name to, let's change this to idle. So that's going to be what's in our code. And then I'm going to add another one, and I'm going to change this to walking. So I'm going to click on idle, and I'm going to click on this folder and find a PNG that can represent our idle animation. I'm going to use this first one right here. This is something that I recreated in paint.net, and I use this same PNG in all my tutorials. You can make your characters in animations and stuff in paint.net. There are tutorials that show you how to do that. But anyway, I made this and put this in my Godot assets folder. So this is what this is. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this and click open. So that's our idle animation. Now let's make our walking animation. I'm going to do the same thing. What I'm going to do, I'm going to just hold down the control button, and I'll click this and this, and then click open. So now we got our walking animation. So that's all we need so far as our animations are concerned. Okay, so let's go back to our Area 2D node. I'm going to click on Henry, and then I'm going to go to this inspector panel down here, and then I'm going to go ahead and add a script. So click on new script, Area2D. And then, as I do in all my tutorials, I'm going to delete all this stuff that's already in here, and I'm going to paste all this stuff in here. Okay, so what we have here is this code extends the Area 2D node. See, remember, Henry is an Area 2D node, and this code extends this Area 2D node. Make sure you have this up here, otherwise your code and your whole game won't work. Then I made some variables for arrow key where our animation will be facing. Our animation could be facing right or be facing left. Our speed is going to be 5 pixels per second. When we first launch our game, Henry's going to be facing the right direction. And then all this has to do is just, setting up the directions and stuff. Let me open this a little better. I mostly use this from some of the examples that were on the Godot website, and I just kind of tailored it a little bit. So just copy this stuff. Then next are the controls. In this tutorial, I'm just dealing with the X direction, which is the right and left direction. You can always change this to position.y so that you can go up and down if you want to. And then you can, instead of UI right, you can put UI underscore up and UI underscore down. And if you want to go up and down. So anyway, right now I'm just dealing with right and left. And this says if a person presses the right arrow key, the person will move in the positive X direction 5 pixels per second. Likewise, if a person presses the left arrow key, they'll move to the left at 5 pixels per second. Minus means left, plus means right. And then if anybody presses either the right key or left key, the walking animation will play. With all this otherwise, if no button is pressed, else means otherwise, the idle animation will play if no button is pressed. That's our code, and this is basically all we need to move our character. Okay, so let's go back to our 2D editor, and I'm gonna use these arrows to go back to the normal view. And then I'm gonna go ahead and now create a room. So I'm gonna click another 2D scene, call this room, and then I'm going to save scene as, and then I'm gonna make it so that when we launch our game, we'll get this room. So I'm gonna go to Project Settings, Run. If room is not in the box, you can always click this. Run. If room is not in the box, you can always click this folder here, and then click this and click open. And if the word room is in this box, we'll get this room once we launch our game. So that's what we want. Okay, so that's that. And last thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna save our character, save scene as Henry.tscn, and then I'm gonna go back to room, and then I'm gonna add Henry in there. The final thing I'm gonna do is go back to room, make sure this inspector is right, and then I'm gonna click and add a camera. So I'm gonna click this plus, camera 2D. I'm gonna turn this camera to current on, and now let's launch our game and see what happens. Okay, so there go our main character, and our main character is in the middle of the screen. So when we hit the right button, character walks to the right, and if we hit the left button, character moves to the left. And this is all using the Area2D node, and that's the point of this tutorial. So again, we wanted to use the Area2D node is so that you can have access to all these different functions and commands. And like I said, you can use this as a supplement to other tutorials that are on YouTube and the web. You can watch other videos about how to use Area2D commands and functions, because those guys already did that and could probably explain this better than I can. So that's the end of the tutorial. Till next time. Thanks. Bye. Dude.